Hi, I'm Lina Ingvarsdottir and I'm the senior producer of Star Wars Battlefront at DICE, and we're here at Gamescom.
So talk about what's new when it comes to Star Wars here at Gamescom.
Yesterday at the press conference we showed off a new mode, our dogfighting mode Fighter Squadron, taking place in the skies above the planet of Sullust, which is our visualization of a planet that's been known in the Star Wars lore, but it's DICE now that's defining the look of and feel of this planet going forward. So we're super excited about both Fighter Squadron and Sullust and showing it off here.
Talk a little about the dogfighting experience and what people can expect to play.
They can really expect to fulfill their Star Wars fantasies as it relates to dogfighting. We're putting you in the cockpit of an X-Wing or an A-Wing or a TIE Fighter or a TIE Interceptor, and you even have the opportunity to play piloting the Millennium Falcon or Slave One. So, you know, to us that's super exciting, and from the reception of people playing here today, it seems like people are enjoying it. And the objective for us is to be able to give you that experience of dogfighting in the skies. So we have, it's a 10 versus 10 mode, and then we also have 20 AI starfighters as well to sort of amp up the epicness of the mode and give you some real chaos in the sky.
George Lucas was originally inspired by World War II dogfighting. Did you guys go back and look at that at all in addition to Star Wars when developing this gameplay?
We actually did. We are fortunate enough to have access to some great people from Lucasfilm and ILM, and we had a presentation from one of them, John Knoll, on actually showing us these movies and talking about George Lucas's inspiration, which then prompted us to look at some of these movies and be inspired by those.
You guys also had access to the actual props. Can you talk a little about how that helped when recreating these virtual versions of all these spaceships?
It actually, going to the Lucasfilm archives, which is where they keep the original props and the models from the original trilogy of movies, I think it helped in two ways. One is that it gives us these, the real props and the real assets to actually study and then to recreate in our game using a technology called photogrammetry, which is basically where you take, let's say, Darth Vader's helmet, and you take dozens of pictures of it from slightly different angles, and then you stitch them together using software to actually recreate it as a 3D model. But it also gives us this amazing sense of being a part of this franchise and getting sort of into this inner circle, and at the same time it's fascinating for us to get so close to the source material, but also instills you with that enormous sense of responsibility.
You guys at the studio have access to all the different gameplay modes in this game. Where does dogfighting rank when you guys are able to go and do anything?
Well, I guess that depends a lot person to person. I think for some of us dogfighting has been such a big fantasy that that's basically all you want to do is to pilot that X-Wing and take down TIE fighters. For others it's the epic all-out mode of Walker Assault, which we've shown there. We have another mode that's a favorite among the team, which is called Drop Zone, which we haven't shown yet, but is a pretty intense objective-based infantry mode. So we've managed to capture and create so many different types of fantasies. So it's very, very much based on the individual what they like. But we think that anyone who likes Star Wars and Star Wars gameplay and has those battle fantasies will be able to find something within our game.
When it comes to building these different planets you guys are working with, you went to the original locations for the ones from the original trilogy. For this planet that you're referring to for the dogfighting, where did you guys find inspiration for it?
Well, for me it was very close to home, but Sullust is actually based on my home country of Iceland. So that's not so far away from Sweden. So that you have amazing lava, you have sulfur pits, you have the Blue Lagoon is a famous location in Iceland that we've been heavily inspired by, and you can see it very much inspired the game. So that's where we went.
It's a dream come true for Star Wars fans this year. In addition to your game, we have Episode 7. What do you feel the impact will be once that movie's out in generating interest for your game?
I think, we've seen, Star Wars, the original trilogy, captured the whole generation of people like myself and my generation. And then the next trilogy of movies captured another generation of Star Wars fans. And I think that now, with this new trilogy of movies, we're going to see it again. We're going to see, basically a new generation of fans being introduced by Star Wars, but most probably also those two previous generations get caught up in that again. So I think we'll see Star Wars frenzy like never before.
Can you talk a little about the connection through the expansion pack between Episode 7 and this game?
So in the opening sequence of the trailer for Episode 7, the last one we saw, you can see a desert planet, and you can see a crashed Star Destroyer on this desert planet. And the planet is the planet of Jakku, and the Star Destroyer is there because there was this battle over this planet and on the ground of this planet of Jakku that happens in the same timeline. It happens basically not so long after the Battle of Endor. And so what we're doing is that we are giving out this free expansion pack, the Battle of Jakku, which comes out on December 8th and is free for everyone. But if you pre-order, you get it on December 1st. And that's basically where we're bringing you into this Battle of Jakku, so you get to be there as the Star Destroyers come crashing down.
How big a Star Wars fan were you growing up?
I don't think that I've ever actually... I think that Star Wars has always been a part of my life and a part of my sort of cultural environment. I remember, my first memory of Star Wars is the memory of Darth Vader and being terrified of him. And, I've always appreciated Star Wars, and, I love the original trilogy of movies. I love talking about it. I played with the Kenner figures as a kid, and to get to be a part of it, to part of contributing to that universe right now and get to work so closely with the people from Lucasfilm is, it's undescribable, if that's even a word.